I'm going to bring your Midjourney styling techniques to the next level. I like to share a lot of styles here in Midjourney if you watch my style videos, but the problem is sometimes when we enhance a prompt or get a little bit more specific, that those styles can get lost. So today I'm going to cover how we can bring those styles back into our images whilst also maintaining the detail that we add to our prompts to create better AI art using Midjourney. So I'm in Midjourney and I'm coming up to my prompt bar up here and I'm going to paste in my prompt, which is a rapper on stage VHS glitch distortion style. And when I submit that, we get these images that have this nice sort of little VHS glitch distortion, and that's pretty cool. But then I take that same prompt and I add a little bit more to it. This time I've added in some details. So I've got a rapper on stage wearing a cap, VHS glitch distortion style, low angle photography showing stage lights overhead, wearing a chunky gold chain, stage lighting. So I really want to see those stage lights. I want to see that chain. I want to make sure he's wearing a hat. These are the details I want to see. But even though I have VHS glitch distortion style in the prompt pretty early on, I actually get these images which don't have that VHS glitch distortion style, which is a little bit disappointing because now that we have the details we want, we don't get the style that we're after. And don't forget, if you need help with your prompts, there's a free prompt formula pack that I have linked up in the description below. So what we're going to do is come back into Midjourney, take our detailed prompt here, and we're going to add it into our prompt bar. But we're also going to take the style which is missing from this image, but is present in these images, and we're going to drag these images up, and then we're going to use them as style references by clicking the little paperclip icon. But to make sure we really nail that style, we're also going to come up here and add a style weight. So we type in --SW. I'm going to go straight to the top, which is 1000. So the style weight is usually at 100. We're going to multiply this style weight to make sure that style is really taking over the image. But Midjourney also has all the details we want now and is much more capable of producing this style with the details we want to see. So now, when I submit that prompt, the images we get are closer to what we need. Now, some of these aren't perfect, but a lot of them have the gold chain, they have the hat, they have the lower angle, and some of them have the stage lighting. So we've been able to more effectively get the style with the elements we want by using the tools available to us to take more control of the image. So the recipe for this would be to simply prompt for the style or prompt for your basic subject and the style, and then you can create a more detailed prompt and simply drag the style image in as a style reference and combine those as a way for creating the image you're after. This also makes it easier for adjustments. So if I have this image here, which is the ukiyo-e woodblock style of my wrapper, but he's missing some certain elements, I go through that same process by adding the image and creating a style reference. And I get an image like this, but he's not holding a mic. The cool thing is I can easily add holding a microphone into the prompt, add more detail and retain that style to get a better looking image. Now this also lends itself to other possibilities of then developing your character further and adding character references. So by simply hitting use on this image and having all of the same settings, I can now drag the image I've created in as a character reference. And now I can submit that by holding that style, but also holding the character. And again, that level of control has popped up. Now while the jacket and the clothing is slightly different, the overall character looks pretty consistent from image to image. We've got the same image style and we've got that same character from image to image. And of course, if I want to, I could come back and use all 5 of these images as a character reference now that I have them. But you can actually empower this process further by relying a little bit more on mood boards. So let's say I have created a basic style, dystopian vaporwave, and I really like the way this looks. Again, I can use this prompt. I'm going to come up and type in repeat 10 because I want to basically create 10 more sets of images to pop into a mood board. So by styling in our prompt for something we want to see, hitting enter, and now I come back and I've got all of these images that are all very styled in a particular way. We've got similar colors and a similar sort of like subjects. It's all pretty cool. So now I come over to personalize, create a mood board. First I'm going to name it, I'm going to say dystopian vaporwave, and then I can go ahead and add images from my gallery. And then before I go ahead, I can just come up to search here to type in vaporwave, and I've been able to filter out all the images I don't want. So now I can just hit plus, and I've selected all the dystopian vaporwave images I've created here. If I wanted to, I could even go back and add some more from here if I wanted to. So I can hold down shift, add in this one, and I've got a few other ones in here like Batman, but I don't want the Batman aesthetic to creep in too much. But you sort of get the idea. It doesn't have to be images you create right now, but it's a great way if you've created a lot of images in different styles. You can just simply filter, go through, select the images you think will work, and then head back after you've selected all the images you want. Also, if you want access to this mood board, I'm going to share it on Instagram. So there'll be a link in the description below. If you want to check out my Instagram profile, I'm going to share this mood board and pin it to the top of my profile so you can use it for yourself. But for now, I'm going to use this in a prompt. I'm going to come back to our wrapper, but this time I make sure I don't hit this use button down here, as it will copy all of the sref information. So I'm just going to click on the text to add the text into my prompt with the mood board code. I'm also going to remove ukiyo-e woodblock print and submit that. Now we're able to get these images, and we've managed to keep a lot of those elements in while maintaining that vaporwave dystopian style. The good thing about the mood boards, much like the style reference, is I can actually dial it up or down if I want to have more or less influence on the image. So I click here, I type in --s for stylize, and the default is 100. 0 is basically turned off, so we're going to max it up to 1000. So having a stylize of 1000, we're going to bring this style out even more in our image. I submit, and you can see we're starting to move a little bit deeper into those styles, but a little bit further from our details. And now we can start to stack some of these little things together. So now if I have this image here, but I want to see something a little bit more like this image, I can actually use it to influence the style again by dragging it up and dropping it in and choosing as a style reference. And now we get these images where the style is really starting to creep in. However, it still hasn't quite matched the image we used as a style reference, but there's another step we can take if we absolutely want it to look similar. But yet, if we want even more influence, we're still not quite getting it. We can't drag and drop this image in a second time, but what we can do is, if I click this button here, I get an image reference, but it turns off the style reference. So I come back, but this time I hold down Shift, click on image reference, and now I have both images. So once again, now I submit that, and we've gone a little bit further away from our details, and we've really dialed in that style. But this shows you the spectrum you can go to, so it shows you how far you can take things. So you can kind of just choose where along the line you want to go and sort of experiment with how much of that style you want to apply. Now, what if I wanted a photographic portrait of a samurai, but I wanted it to be more of an old, damaged photo? These didn't turn out too bad. But maybe I'm after something with a slightly different type of damage, and maybe I don't know how to prompt for that style. So again, this is where the mood boards come in. So I created a new mood board called Old Film Dust and Scratch, and I got all of these images here of old, corroded, and sort of film grainy photos. And I can basically select them all, drag them in, and it will upload them to create a mood board. And you can see where the photos I've uploaded, I'm able to influence the type of damage that I want to see, even uploading a few just textures of dust and scratches as well. So now, if I head back to create, take my normal portrait of samurai, pop it in here, click on my prompt settings, turn on personalize and change it to old film dust and scratch. And it's a pretty handy way to switch between mood boards. So now I'm going to input this prompt with our new dust and scratch mood board. And you see the photographs that we have a very authentic old look to them. Maybe they're a little bit too hard to see, but we can always work with that. But also I can experiment by adding the same phrase from this image into the prompt using the same mood board. And this is proof that the prompt still has an impact. And that added phrase of old damaged photo has also had a little bit of an impact on the images, and it's still very hard to see. But like I said, we can fix that by coming back. We're going to use this again, and we're going to bring the stylize by typing in --s down to about 40. The default is 100. And we can do this for both prompts to dial that style back just a little bit. And now we still get that overall impact in our images, but it doesn't look quite as difficult to see. But this is what's really cool about using mood boards or even style references, is we can just take that slider and adjust it all the way from 0 to 1000 to see how much of that effect we want to apply. For instance, if I take our portrait of the photo samurai, making sure we don't prompt for any photo damage. Also, I should probably fix this typo. So again, if I take a portrait of a photo samurai, not prompting for any of the photo damage, I can experiment and compare by trying out different stylized values. And you may notice, starting from the high end of a stylize of 1000, as we bring that score back, the effect slowly peels away and eventually becomes pretty much non-existent. But if I had to dial it down, 0 means there's nothing there. So between 10 and 20 for this style seems to be about the best. So I'm going to use permutations in my prompt to experiment with various levels between 10 and 20 to find the sweet spot. And now, going from 12 up and viewing these images, I think 16 is a nice kind of photographic effect without being too noisy, but 18 gets a little bit too far gone. So that's a nice way to experiment and really dial down what a good stylized value is. Now again, don't be afraid to experiment with different styles. I can add in my prompt, my old film and dust mood board. I could even scroll down and add in my dystopian vaporwave and combine those two mood boards and hit enter. And now I have this interesting blend of the two. Now, when you get close to something you like, something like this I think is very unique, just remember my final tip is don't just stop at one image, re-roll, because a lot of what the images you see from other AI art enthusiasts out there who are sharing their work is that they're actually generating hundreds of images and choosing the best ones. So again, let's reuse that prompt along with the same mood boards. And one tip for producing a bunch of images is to use -- repeat at the end of your prompt. I'm going to say 6 to create 6 sets with the following settings. And from there, I can pick out the best from, if we've got 4 images to a grid, we have 24 images we're creating plus these 4 here, so 28. So now I hit repeat 6. And out of those images, I've picked a few of the best ones that I think really find a good balance between the vaporwave and that nice film graying kind of damaged photo look. So that is a really powerful way to experiment. We're not just sticking with one photo, we're going to break it apart into several images that we're then going to bring back with style references, mood boards, and again, we're going to create mood boards for certain effects, but also we're just going to roll a bunch of times, pick the best images, and that's how we end up with basically our A+ material with Midjourney. So I hope you found that video useful. If you did, now don't forget to check out my free prompt formula packs. They can also help you with this process a little bit, but otherwise, that's the video for today, guys. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, please consider giving the video a like. Otherwise, I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching and have a great day.